can see that the light turns on, and this is in connection. Hello everyone, I am going to install a boot lamp in my Tiago. This is a top model XZA Plus 2021 model, but it does not come with a boot lamp. And even though it's a Tata, I have decided to use a part from Maruti because it's exactly the same used in most of the Maruti or Nexa cars. So this one specifically I asked for is from the Grand Vitara car, and it costs much less than the same part available from Tata. This one's 96 rupees and I got it over the counter at a Maruti showroom, but the same part which you get from Tata is I think 144 rupees. And I am aware that you may not be able to buy just one. It comes in a pair of 2 pieces, so that makes it 290 rupees. So apart from that, you're going to need some wire, which is about 2.5 meters long, and I am then going to take a connection from the dome light. I'll tap into the positive and the negative over here, draw the wire down to the B pillar, back towards a boot, and then there's a slot over there where the boot lamp will be installed. So it's a company fitted option probably on the earlier models, but this car does not have it, and they have provided a slot nevertheless. So I have already tested the fitting for this light and it fits exactly how it should on the right side of the boot of the Tiago. You can't put this particular light on the left side because there's a curve over here. You can see over here there's a curve, and this curve is specific to the left side, so it goes in like that. And once I start the installation, I'll show you what else you need to do. So you need to first undo this part. I've put a screwdriver here and pulled this mechanism out. Now there's 2 screws here which hold the frame. I need to remove this as well because I need some extra wire pull and the space to thread my new wire down to the B pillar. Once I've got these screws out, you pull this down and the light hangs much longer and there's more length to work with. On this you can see there are 3 wires. One of them is red, there's a green, and there's a black. So the black is definitely the negative one. The green is the one which is connected to the door open and close, and the red is always positive. I am going to be taking a negative tap from the black wire, and then I'm going to also tap into the green terminal over here, which is door, and therefore whenever the interior dome light is on, the rear boot lamp will also switch on. I don't want it to be connected to the live wire permanently because I don't trust if it would switch off when this one switches off. So it's not easy to push the wire, it's really tight, and I struggled for about 15 minutes before I decided to get one of these. This is a laparoscopic instrument. I have plenty of these because I'm a surgeon. It's long, it's almost 35 centimeters long. So what I did is I grabbed the tip of the wire and I just grabbed it like this and I pushed it all the way in. So it just goes in with the wire, and I can hit the B pillar, I can hear the B pillar hitting, so I've delivered the wire up to the B pillar. So I'll just go and check on the other side if the wires come, and then after that we need to take the wire towards the C pillar or the rear. So it's a bit dark, but if you can see, I've just pulled the wire, I've got it up to the B pillar, there's the tip of the wire, and I'll just pull the length of it until I get the amount I need to get it to the boot. So just keep pulling it. I mean, you pull the entire length to be honest, because you don't need much at the level of the dome light. So I'll just leave about 6 inches over there, as you can see, and the rest of it goes towards the boot. So I've got the wire down to the rear C pillar. It's come up till here. You need to remove some of the weather strips, like for the boot and the rear door especially, but these come off and go back on really easily, so just whack it in after you're done. There's There's nothing much to it. Just make sure your wire is tucked in properly inside before you do that. And the next thing I need to do is to get this wire down out through this hole over here, which is where eventually the boot light would go. This one's proving to be a bit difficult, but I would get it done soon eventually. It's not easy if you have not removed all the panels. I have not bothered removing all the panels and all the strips because I have this instrument. So I've just managed to thread this wire out of the hole, if you can just see there. Yeah, so that's the final delivery of the entire length of the wire. Just remove this instrument, get the wire tucked in nice and tucked. Yeah, that's it, and I whack this back in. So I've done the wiring placement. So I've got the wire coming out of the boot lamp slot, and there we have the hanging wire which needs to be soldered on to the dome light. Now this is the important part. You split the wires. You take one wire which would then eventually become your positive, and then one which would be your negative. So on this coupler here there are black, green and red wires. The black one is negative, as it says on this PCB, and then the green one is for the door. When the door opens, the light switches on, and the red one is positive continuous. I just stripped this end of the wire and slid it into the coupler. I'm not going to cut the original coupler and make a soldered joint over there, because this one works okay. I've seen it in a previous video. And then the other end of it, which would go into one of these holes here. Now this one is also tested and tried from a different video, and I'll do this in the other part. Once you've got this one in here, either super glue it or tape it up with insulating tape, and this would be a strong enough joint. So I've done the wiring on this PCB. If you can see this middle terminal, this one is for the door, and there were two holes here, so I've just taken wire and got it inside that small hole and super glued it. I'll just put some insulating tape. It's not the best way to do it, but I have watched someone else do it in another video, and I'm just going to try it for now. And once I have the time and the resources, I'll make this more permanent with the soldering to this terminal. You could solder it onto this terminal directly, and that would be the best way to do it. So the last part is to solder these two wires onto the lamp. The company's already marked which one's positive and negative. This is positive, this is negative. In any case, you could just test them which wire is which. I've already marked mine. This one with the tape has a positive current. I'm going to solder that to this terminal, and this one is a negative. I'm going to solder it over there. I've got the soldering equipment over here, and once it's done I'll record again. Done the soldering, and let's see if it switches on. Oh yeah, so this one's on door, and it's working absolutely fine. So the last step is to install it inside, and that would be it. It hasn't been easy. It was quite difficult, to be honest, without the coupler. The soldering wasn't perfect. I'm doing it temporarily right now, and I will have it permanently done by a professional when I do have the time. So there we have it. I've just got it in. Okay, and there it is. You can see it's installed in position. And one final test. Keep it on door mode, and will it switch on? Yep, that's working. So that was on door mode. My guard is doing it for me. Try doing this in your car as well, and it's a good DIY, costs nearly nothing, and it's a really good improvement to your car. Thank you. Now for the final test, I am sitting in a car that is locked and the interior dome light is also off, and once I unlock the car, see that the light turns on, and this is in connection with the dome lamp, and there's a fairly good illumination of the boot and all the contents kept inside. So mission successful.